hour and a half early. Great trip on the bus. Wonderful flicks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Memphis, Tennessee, to Memphis University School Field, the Hull Athletic Field, for the third game between MBA and MUS. Captains are on the field tonight. That is Parker Jones, Rob Beard, John Ogier, and Blake Sloan. And tonight, you probably already noticed Tom Court tonight. Don Buck is on cross.
Test.
Start all over.
We're going to come back to you here again, and it's Don Denbo now with Mike Courts.
That's Mike Cross.
Mike Courts is a combination of
and we have Bill Billups filling in again tonight ably, and this is a good game. And Lou Farrell as usual, I might add. So,
well, this is supposedly the best MUS team in the history of the school. They've got a 1,500-yard rusher, 235-pound fullback, a college prospected quarterback, number 18, who's rated by the Knoxville News Sentinel, the number 11 prospect in the state, Richard Ford, 6'3", 207. 15 starters returning. I have to say, as usual, I doubt the quality necessarily of West Tennessee football. So we'll just have to see tonight, Mike, after our big
quarterback is 6'3", 207. They say he's a major college prospect at defensive end. The running back is a junior, got 1,500 yards and 17 touchdowns last year. He's number 20. The quarterback's 18. And the fullback's like 6'2", 235. And they're going to run some option. And they've got their offensive line, I think, is the big key, is how our offensive and defensive lines match up against theirs. Here's Bill.
Well, I think that our front five and defense and offense have been the keys to our 2 wins. Tonight, starting on the offensive line, we've got Will Caldwell, David Farrell, Ben Byrne, Parker Jones, and Matt Wilson. Those guys will open the holes. We can win it, because I believe you can control the game with your offensive line.
Okay. MUS won the toss and deferred to receiving, and I'm not sure from which end. I didn't know which end we're going to defend. I guess we're going to defend the north end, possibly the north end. You know, we're confused.
You can see the moon setting in the west.
Mr. Denver is in the west. And the reports I have, Parker Jones had shoulder pop. Also, pretty good start because Mike here due to of a family member. And Also, I believe that Matt Wilson may be playing.
Because you guys are so close. This thing has made the transmit like up to about 100 yards.
And we're
Being this close.
well, the other night in Clinton, we were real close to you. You know.
Yeah, we were right beside you as well. We apologize at this point in time for the microphone. Is it doing any better, John, or is it still popping?
Yeah, I think it's just crossed. It doesn't like cross.
Doesn't cross. Well, it's a very sensible microphone.
Understandable.
It looks like MUS is going to be kicking off from the right hash mark as they move from left to right on your screen. MUS got a good kicker. We've got David McIntosh flanked by Jonas Rodriguez, and I can't see the other number, and John Ozier on the left-hand side of the line of scrimmage to receive the kickoff. Going to be fielded. He's outside and makes it all the way back to the 30-yard line. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to try and call varying things. And Mike, I think what I'll do, with your permission, is move. Well, that's okay. I was going to say, let me move into the middle, and we'll just pass back and forth. First and 10, MBA at the 20-yard line. MBA comes out, Sloan under center. At full, David McIntosh at tailback. Break that gain of about 12 or 13 yards on a deep handoff. David McIntosh. The Big Red starts the game well, and they wiped him out on the right-hand side of the line of scrimmage.
Don, I know you weren't here last week, but we could not run that play last week. And, of course, that was about our favorite play against Clinton. Bill?
Well, we cut the ball back in towards the weak side, which was wide open. And we got a good return on the kickoff, which we did last week. That helped us win that game.
First and 10, MBA on the 33. Bigwood Smith is in at tight end. Hand the ball again to McIntosh, who scrambles and struggles for 5 yards over center. Center's Will Caldwell, who is a junior from Nashville, Tennessee, and incidentally happens to be my top returning shot putter for the spring track season of 1998. Matt Wilson, number 73 at left tackle. Number 56 is Garrett Davis at left guard. Second and 5. Fullback to Bearden. Bearden breaks through the line of scrimmage and gains about 6 or 7 yards off right tackle. Mike?
Don, this is very pleasing because last week we could not run up the middle. We were obviously proving that we can today, and so our offensive line is starting out well with 2 straight first downs.
You just set it off.
Okay, Don. Don's going to do offense. I'm going to do defense in the first half, and we may switch, so hang with us.
Since we don't have the real voice of the Big Red with us, NBA's offensive line is bigger. The zone blocking scheme seems to be working okay. MUS is in a straight 4-3, moved a man up. Here we got McIntosh, breaks tackle, scrambles outside, and looks like he's close to another first down, Mike, off right tackle.
Yeah, that's 2 big plays in a row where we run the sprint draw to the split inside rather than the tight inside, and David spotted a lot of ground over there and made a good cut.
Well, we're just controlling the line of scrimmage. We're getting 4, 5, 6 yards every play. We can control the game and the time and the clock.
Yeah, 2nd and 2 is a good calling play for any coach.
Sam DeLevos, number 51, just came into the game at right tackle. We've got David Farrell starting at right tackle, and now Whit Smith at right tight end. Motion, deep sprint draw. McIntosh makes a cut, scrambles, and looks like he's got a first down, Mike. He had yards after contact.
Yeah, good move by David. That's one of his favorites, and I think that was the difference between making the first down and not making the first down.
Matt Wilson blocked down, fullback kicked out, and that's the hole we ran.
Number 2, Michael Higgins is in. David McIntosh, number 9, is out. But the trick there was yards after contact. Keep your eye on number 98, Whit Smith. Big tight end, 6'8", 240, college prospect in a 5'4". Fullback handoff. Bearden scrambles for maybe 2 yards, Mike.
Yeah, we got maybe 2 yards there on just a straight hand. That may have been the option with the handoff to the fullback. we ran the option a lot last week, and I guess if it hadn't been for the option, we'd have lost the ball game because Blake Sloan had a big game, as we all know.
Well, we ought to come back with some power plays. Our straight power plays are working.
Wouldn't be a bad time to throw here either because we haven't done that yet.
I'd have thrown on that down. They were in basically a 6-5 goal line. They're now in basically a 4-3 tight, but they've got not 10 men within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage. Option outside. Blake scrambles away and picks up about 4 yards. But, Mike, they just took the run right away from us that time.
Yeah, we ran a non-handoff option or a naked option last week with success, and that may have been what that was. I'm not sure.
Well, you're right, Don. They are putting 10 men on the line, but they got to because they can't stop the run without it.
And, they may see that Eskin's not in there. I don't know. But, anyway, back to the play-by-play man.
They were in single coverage to the wide side of the field on John Ozier, and they are again. In fact, they got single coverage to both wide receivers. We've got slot right. And then they've got all the men up on the left. It's a good time for play action, motion to the inside of the field. Sprint draw to Higgins, who uses his speed to get outside. We get a holding penalty. Higgins covers up the ball. Holding on MBA.
It's either holding or blocking the back by our wide receiver on that side because they threw the flag right in his back. So looks like we're going to be backing it up here a little bit.
And that's a spot of the penalty foul. Clipping against MBA.
MBA is guilty of an illegal block.
They're taking it from the line of scrimmage, Mike, which is a bad call.
Looks like it's going to be probably third down and about close to 20 yards, so good place for a screen maybe here.
Well, screens only work when you've got people in zone, and right now they're playing straight man-to-man on the wide receivers. Blake Sloan comes out with the play. It's third down and 20 on the MUS 43-yard line. Slot left with Higgins. Jonas Rodriguez split wide. Shotgun. Quarterback draw. There's people there. We get another holding call.
Well, Don, we ran off about 3 first downs in a row, and then again had a penalty and hurt ourselves. And I don't see it. Is there a flag down on this play? Yes, there's a holding. I don't know whether they will accept this or not. We'll see on that. But that's 2 penalties. They declined it. That's 2 penalties in a row, and we've dug ourselves a pretty good hole here, and we were probably fairly close to field goal position at one time.
I'm sure we were. So here we get the punting team coming in. It's going to be fourth down and about 22 yards to go, 21 yards to go at the 44-yard line. And back deep, we've got Joe Pat McGuigan, NBA's punter, who's been pretty effective this year, Mike, Bill. They've got 10 men on the line of scrimmage showing rush. Yes, they are. Good high punt. No fair catch called. And they get good coverage. And so it's going to be first and 10, Owls on their own 10. Mike.
Okay, now let's watch MUS here. Their quarterback was All-State last year. He's 6'3", 207. Their running back owns the mark for the most yardage in a season for MUS, 1,500 and change as a sophomore. And obviously their fullback can block. So let's see what kind of offense they come out here with the first and 10 on, let's call it the 11 or maybe the 12. Look, 1 back, 3 wide. Interesting. No fullback at this moment. All right, Moore, the quarterback, is under center. Takes a snap, hands off to the halfback right up the middle, and David Farrell tackled him for possibly a 1-yard gain or so. Don?
It's a 1-yard loss. David Farrell came right through there. They're basically showing, I don't know what they're supposed to show, but the bottom line to it is that was a really spread out formation. And apparently that what they want us to try and force us to do, is to play their running game single back with our 4-down linemen.
And there's official timeout, Bill.
Well, we've got Johnny Rich, Parker Jones, and David Farrell on that front line, and that time they didn't block David, and he stopped him right cold.
Well, before the game started, we said that the big key would probably be our how our line stacks up against theirs. And the way we ran off 3 first downs pretty quickly there, and that first play on defense looks like we're going to match up pretty well. But they've got good skill players, and so do we.
We're really a lot bigger than they are, Mike, and whether or not that means anything at this point, we just don't know.
MUS, they've got, looks like split backs with 2 wides and a tight end. Moore under center, the quarterback. There's the snap. It's an option play to this side. Moore keeps the ball. It bounces off Bearden and is going to get about maybe 3, maybe 4 yards on the option play.
Mike, Rob Bearden stayed right at home, controlled the guy trying to block him, and there was no way to run an option play.
Yeah, the quarterback kind of banged up against his own blocker there because Bearden had jammed it up.
He beat him right at the line of scrimmage. There's nowhere to go.
So let's call it 3rd down and 5.5 or 6 for the Owls on their own 16-yard line. All right, they've got 2 wides, split backs, quarterback Moore under center. There's the snap. It's a draw play to number 20, Gowan, the running back, and he got the first down on that quick draw.
You know, it's interesting. He is exactly what I expected him to be. He's a really quick kid, not blazing speed. Historically, speed is what's beat us. I don't know. We didn't see him really break into full speed, but it looks like he's very, very quick. He's been compared to Max Fuller from our last year's team.
Yeah, Santonio Beard would run this guy in the ground. Okay, split backs again. Moore at quarterback, 2 wides, and a tight. Tight is to the right-hand side. I formation now. Hand off to the tailback. Up the middle. He spins off a tackler and is brought back down by Blake Sloan and Brydale.
Showed a quick move to be able to burst to the outside. We got good support there, Mike.
Okay, brings up a 2nd down, and let's call it a 7 on the 30, we'll call the 29, excuse me, for the MUS Owls. All right, we got 1 back with 2 tights and 2 wides. Quarterback's back to pass. That's Moore. He's got some time. Got a man open. Complete to number 17, who is Chase Jackson for the first down.
And he made a good throw. Doesn't have a big league arm, Mike, but the guy was well open, and we just didn't have good coverage there.
You know, they've run an option and a pass play both, so it looks like the guy can throw it and run it, Bill.
That's true. He got real good protection then. We've got to get some penetration. Get him moving.
Okay, they've got the ball 1st and 10 on the 33, let's call it, and they've got I formation, 2 wides, and a tight end, Moore under center. The All-State quarterback. Long count. Fake draw, pass. He's got did he catch that ball or did he drop it? I think he caught it. That's for about a 5-yard completion to the fullback, number 30, Steffens, Harley Steffens.
Well, and that was basically a good ball fake. Very well done. Our guys didn't take the fake at all and came straight upfield, but he had a deep drop and got the pass away, and it was a nice completion.
That's a little waggle like we've run before, except we had some pressure on that side, and he had to really pull up and throw it. Okay, we got 2nd, and let's call it 6. I formation, 2 splits and a tight end, Moore under center. Snap, hand off to the tailback, Gowan, and somebody stood him up in there. He was running straight up and down. Let's see if we can pick out who the tackler was. I see 33 Bearden in there, and I see Barfield. Anybody else pick up who the tacklers were?
Didn't see it, but you know, it's interesting. Gowan has got real good leg drive, Mike.
Ben Byrne in and Parker Jones out. I hope his shoulder's not hurting him. And it doesn't look like it the way he's running. So it's going to bring up 3rd, and let's call it a long 2.
He got about 2 yards after we hit him at the line of scrimmage.
One thing I noticed is that this running back is pretty slippery, but he doesn't have very much of a positive lean on. It's kind of running straight up.
Except, though, he looks to me like he's got real good leg drive. And so far, nobody, even though we've gotten hands on him and arms on him, nobody has really knocked him down. He's been able to keep his legs moving. And that's, you know, and then he's got a good move bouncing to the outside.
It looks like he's got a spin move similar to Mr. McIntosh. And we have another timeout here, and I don't know if it's an MBA call timeout or MUS timeout, where the coaches are on the field. All right, Mr. Bates looks like has the camera on the cheerleaders, and they are wonderful as usual. this year we've got some young men out there that are forming a cheering section, which is sometimes you see at MBA and sometimes you don't.
Sort of cheerleaders.
Yeah, sort of. Okay. So,
We got 4 minutes to go, 4 minutes, 23 seconds in this quarter. We need to make our stand right here.
all right, 3rd and 2. After getting the ball on the 10-yard line, they've gotten 3 first downs to get up to right at the nose of the ball, almost touching the 50-yard line. I formation, 2 wides and a tight. Moore hands off to 20, and he stopped in the backfield, and he did not make it.
Number 45, Todd.
45, Todd Frevost, and who else is in there? Cole Barfield. We must have blitzed both linebackers there because both of them were in the backfield to make the tackle.
They blitzed, and our line got some penetration. We tackled him 2 or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Brings up a 4th down, Don, in a punting situation. In the pregame, they had a punter that was really lifting the ball pretty good.
Well, and if he outkicks his coverage with John Ozier back there, it could be a real long night for the Owls.
Okay, 4th and 4. There's a place where you could theoretically do a fake, but I would doubt it this early in the game. High snap. He catches it. Gets the ball off. It's off the side of his foot. Not a very good punt. Get out of the way. And it's going to be down approximately the 21-yard line. 1st and 10, Big Red. Here's Don.
Well, if we'd have had the punt block on, they'd have been in real trouble that time. But I don't have any problem with us kicking the ball and trying to return it with John Ozier. He's been really dangerous in that position for the last 3 years, and I think he's going to break one before it's done. So here we go back on offense.
Don, David Farrell's on the sideline here with a hematoma on his left knee, which they're probably going to take.
I formation, slot right, Blake Sloan under center. Hands the ball, it's an option, pitches to McIntosh, and we get 2 more flags.
Don, last week we had a little bit of trouble with, I think we got some calls on holding on some of the techniques that we use, we're probably not familiar, and maybe that's the case then. Those flags were, thrown about the line of scrimmage, Bill.
That's true. It looks very familiar to last week. That was just a pure option, and, we got good 5-6 yards out of it, but the penalties killed us.
So is that our 3rd penalty, Don, for about probably 15 plus 10 plus, that's probably about 30 yards of penalties at least.
Well, one of the penalties was declined, so it's our 2nd official penalty.
Ball is spotted just inside the 10-yard line.
And this is a game in which field position could be all important, and it's tough to have that happen to us. I mean, I really believe that NBA, with this zone blocking, uses their hands so much that the officials don't really know what's going on.
Option.
Blake Sloan looks like a quarterback run all the way and squirted to the outside, Mike.
Don, that was the naked option where they don't have a fullback to fake the ball to that we used several times successfully last week. It seemed to confuse Pearl Cone, and we got some of our yardage back that time.
MUS is well coached, Mike. If you watch them, they don't get out of position. They stay at home, and they're a good coach football team.
Well, I mean, again, we've got a big offensive line, and we need to just pound it at them. Again, here we've got an offset I to the tight end side. Here's the snap. Hand to McIntosh, who's tackled in the backfield by number 83 from tackled by Matthew Ware, 6'1", 170.
I think they crashed that defensive end that time because we had a blocker out there, and I think we just missed him. But he was coming either defensive end or the linebacker on a blitz or a slant.
So now all of a sudden, field position is real important here. It would be great if we could come up and get a first down. We're going back to I formation. Split right and left. McIntosh deep in the I. Option. Blake Sloan cuts upfield and runs back to almost the original line of scrimmage where it'll be 4th down and 10, Mike.
Well, Don, I think that was a good call. We have bad field position and we throw it here and have a turnover. All of a sudden we've dug ourselves a real big hole. So that was a good call, and Blake sure made a lot of yardages on that option play last week, didn't he, Bill?
He did. It really worked for us, and it worked for us here. We got so far in the hole with penalties that it's tough to run out of there.
we're kind of hamstrung here because the clock is not working. It's end of the first quarter with a score 0-0 and MBA preparing to punt. Don?
Well, I want to talk about these penalties for a second. I mean, it has hurt us badly field position-wise. It's taken us out of our game. But I'll tell you this, you know, and we haven't seen exactly what the officials have called. So there's no way that we're being critical of the officials here. But either this style of blocking that MBA uses, the zone blocking from Nebraska, is really causing us a lot of problems with officials who aren't used to seeing us, or we're making a lot of mistakes, Mike, and I don't know which it is.
Well, Don, this is a well-coached, disciplined team, and I would seriously doubt that we're making as many mistakes as penalties were called. Now, one of those was on a wide receiver, so that obviously wasn't a zone blocking situation. But you know, NBA is well-coached and disciplined, and that's why NBA has won over the years and years and years. So I don't think it's just we're making mental mistakes. I think we got some officials need a little educating. Well, we're still now the clock. They've got a clock up there. We'll have to see whether they're going to be calling it on the field or whether they are going to use the clock. But there's still we still have time out here, and we're trying to fill, Bill.
Well, I don't know how we can complain since our clock went out last week with 2.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Which certainly made it scary, I might add, because no one really knew how much time we had left, or they had when they had the ball on the last series. So Joe Pat McGuigan back to punt from his own, let's call it, I guess 19-yard line. Snap is good, a little high. He gets it off. They had a rush on. Nice kick. I don't think it's going to be fielded. We get a good bounce. It bounced to the 45 and is rolling all the way down to the 44. So we got about a 15-yard roll there, which we sure needed.
Yep, and they were going to put pressure on, and Joe Pat did a fine job fielding the ball cleanly and getting it off quickly. Good job, Joe Pat McGuigan.
Defense, defense, defense. That's what we need to see here.
We do. Pearl Cone didn't catch a couple of punts, and it hurt them last week. This time they didn't catch the punt. Hurt us. That's where John Osier's so valuable for us. He catches the punt.
Yeah, that's a good observation. They had two plays where that really, really hurt them. Okay, MUS is coming out with more at quarterback. They've got split backs, 2 wides, and a tight end. Let's see if they shift. Looks like he's maybe giving an audible to his wide receivers. Snap. He hands off the draw play to 20, McGowan. He's got a little room and speed, and we get him our quarterback there, and also Bearden make the tackle.
Bearden missed him at the line of scrimmage. He just was screened for him. He didn't see him. You know, he's one of those little darty guys. And really, I was looking right at Bearden. He didn't see him at all. The guy darted outside of Bearden. Bearden turned and ran and caught him from behind. Great play, Rob Bearden.
That was Brydale, the strong safety, not the cornerback there. Made a bad call. Okay, here we go. MUS out. They are same formation. Now they're I formation. 2 wides and a tight end to the right-hand side. It's a pass. He fakes on a play-action pass. He looks like he's going over the middle. Number 17 is open. He's going to be brought down by Barton Simmons and number 27, that's Robert Arundale.
That was a very, very long developing pass. Number 17 came from the wide formation on the far side of the field all the way across the field. They had good protection. The only person we had rushing was Hillenmeyer.
That's the second time they've run that play to that number 17, Chase Jackson there, Bill.
That second time, and last time they ran it, they gave him good protection. We've got to get some heat on him.
All right, tight end to the right, I formation, 2 splits, hand off the fullback, the big guy up the middle. He busts the line of scrimmage and is going to get at least 5 or 6 yards. Parker Jones and Hillenmeyer in there, among others.
Well, Parker Jones did a good job. They got movement and handed the ball in just a plain old fullback dive. You know, that play's been around since Jesus was a youngster.
Well, they just took it right up the gut. You know, we got to get penetration. We got to stop that run.
You know, I'm sure in the statistics game here, we're behind. We got split backs, 2 wides, tight end, more under center. Takes the snap, hands off the fullback again, and he's got a lot of room. We had a run blitz on there, and Cole Barfield hit him in the backfield, but the big guy broke free and ended up getting a first down.
The quarterback checked off right into that soft spot in our defense. So that was a good checkoff by their quarterback. It looks to be 1st and goal on the 10-yard line, MUS.
You know, I'm impressed with these guys. They probably have another 30, 40 yards more offense than we do, and are now although we got down to the 20 and backed up, they're on a 10-yard line with a 1st and 10, I formation, 2 wides tied into the right. More under center. Takes a snap, fullback again, no option play, I'm sorry. Quarterback, I'm afraid he's gone, touchdown. They ran that dive to the fullback twice in a row, faked it, ran the option, and it's touchdown.
And Bearden was there to make the play, but just missed it. It was a good play by their quarterback.
You got to like the call they made there. I mean, they set that up with the 2 runs, and then we tackled the fullback who didn't have the ball, and it's touchdown.
Well, anytime you can establish the fullback for 6 or 7 yards up the middle, and then you fake to him, you've got to respect it, and that's what set it up.
Okay, well, we dug ourselves a hole here, but we did last week, too. We were down 8-0, if you remember, and came back to win a very exciting game. We got, looks like number 18 of the quarterback is the holder, and from what we could see pregame, they've got a kicker, so a soccer-style kicker here. Snap, hold, kick, and it is good, as Mr. Kortz would say. So with 9 minutes and 46 seconds left in the second quarter, 7-0 MUS. Here's Don.
7-play drive by the Owls for 60 yards, Mike. All credit to them. I don't know whether our defense played badly there or their offense played well. I'm inclined to believe that their offense played well. The quarterback checked off very nicely and then ran an option into the end zone. We've done a good job controlling Gowan, but right now their quarterback, who's a legitimate Division I prospect, is beating us.
Well, you know, you've got a team here that has their entire backfield back, including an all-state quarterback, and they've got more weapons, and they've got a big tight end who they haven't thrown to yet, and this number 17. So they're mixing it up real well with the run and the pass, probably close to maybe 40%, 60%, run throw, but that's a pretty good mix in a high school football game.
And we haven't got any pressure on their quarterback at all yet. Again, this time kicking off MUS from the center of the field, McIntosh deep. There's the kick. Carries into the end zone. Touchback, MBA. Ball comes out to the 20-yard line.
You know, and we've talked about what a weapon that has been for us over the last years with John Markham, and obviously they've got a good kicker there. We're starting the ball on the 20-yard line.
We need a little What has cost us and what has kept us off the scoreboard so far is our penalties. Sloan under center, I formation, McIntosh deep. Sprint draw, McIntosh surges through for 7-yard gain over the right-hand side.
I saw something I liked there when McIntosh came through there. They were pulling at the ball, and he had got 2 hands on it to prevent a penalty, and he got about 6 yards maybe, Bill?
Yeah, that was 6 yards right off the tackle. That's the kind of play we need. Establish the run.
David Farrell back in the ball game at right offensive tackle.
I'd like to see us go ahead and establish something here. It would be a good time to go play action. I formation. Rodriguez right. Ozier left.
Take it well. Don's having a little coughing problem here. We'll be over this. Don't worry. It's going to be 3rd down, and let's call it 2 or maybe 1.5. And Bill Jip to see what happened then.
It looked like basically the same play we ran before, only we didn't get it blocked as well on the corner.
Well, big play here on our own 29-yard line, 1st and 10, and Don's back.
With a coat. Here we go.
Solid.
Solid formation, 2 tights. Bearden is stopped. Stopped short of a 1st down. Good play, MUS.
You know, he was hitting the backfield, and I thought he might, Will Bartholomew, reach it, and he may. They're not going to measure it, so they're calling it 4th down, and I feel sure we'll punt, although our punter is not in there yet. 4th and 1, but maybe, no, there goes the punting team.
Well, That's tough. Those, believe it or not, those are the kind of plays that get you beat. You got to make third down and 2 in your own end zone to regain momentum, as NBA calls timeout, Mike.
Yeah, you know, we call timeout. I don't know if we were slow to get the kicking team on there so that we were worried about a 5-yard penalty. You know, Ricky may be considering trying to jolt this team and wake us up a little bit by making a little gamble here and a big play. It's hard to say, Bill.
Well, I think we actually got a left-footed spot instead of a right-footed spot, or we might have the first down. I think it's that close. We're right on the 30. We're about a half-yard short. We might go for this.
Well, Coach is going out there, so, you know, it'd be an unusual place to have a fake kick on, but we may just I don't see the punter in the ball game. Yeah, there he is. Excuse me, he's in there.
Look, you're down 7-0, a lot of football game left. You don't go for it here. You kick the ball away. Play defense.
I agree. Okay, we got Joe Pat back to kick. And it looks like Prevost is the defender for the punter in case somebody slips through the line. Looks like they maybe got a return on with guys backing up from the line. Gets the kickoff. Pretty good kick. Bounce ball, bounce ball. It did. We got a friendly bounce here again, which is good news. Their back just couldn't quite get up there to get to that one, Bill.
Well, they didn't catch it. We got another 10 yards out of it. They're at the 30 again. We got to hold them here, get the ball back.
Well, that was a pretty darn good punt, a 40-yard punt from McGuigan, a little bit over. We just got to play defense now, guys. We didn't stop them at all in the last possession, and we can't let them get ahead the way we're playing on offense.
This is like playing ourselves almost in many ways. It's a talented team, well coached, not going to make a lot of mistakes, and they run the option, they throw the ball. It's kind of almost like a spitting image of ourselves. All right, the one back, 2 tights and a wide, more under center. Back to pass, he rolls to his right, and he's running the ball, makes a great run, and I think gets a first down. I'm not sure if that wasn't a broken play. I don't think it was by design, Don.
I believe he was flushed out of the pocket by a rush right up the middle and then just showed enough speed to get outside and pick up a first down.
Yeah, that young man looks like an athlete to me, Bill.
He's an athlete. He has good field vision. I thought he was going to try to pass the ball when he first started out there, but like Don says, he got flushed out, turned the corner, and got 10 yards.
So they've definitely first downed us, out-yarded us on both passing and running.
He's very reminiscent of Lance Phillips, BA's quarterback from last year, in my opinion.
Maybe a little better. Certainly smarter. I apologize to Lance's parents for that one. They were in fullback up the middle, and I'm going to say they got maybe 2 yards or so, Don. They're probably trying to set up the option again.
Well, that time Johnny Rich did a good job playing right over the center, stymied it. He was double-teamed. He made a big pile, and he got support from the linebackers.
Okay, Rich is at nose, and we have, looks like Farrell at tackle, and looks like Byrne over there, I believe, at 65 is the left tackle. So second, and let's call it 8. 1 back, 3 wides, and a tight.
Four wides.
Back to throw. He's going to get the first down and more, and he's going to be out of bounds on about the 40, let's call it 2 or 3 yard line. We got good pressure, but we didn't have containment. He flushed out to the right side and picked up the first down.
I think that must be a design read play because that's the second time he's run it. He's got 1 back, 4 wideouts. He drops back. Both times that he's run it, we brought pressure right up the middle. He apparently saw nobody, and then it's up to him to just run it. The guy's got a good turn of speed, you got to admit.
Our ends are just going to have to contain him and force him up the middle. It's the same thing as last week. We had to force him up the middle.
Okay, we got 2 tights and a wide I formation. Looks like a power formation. Hand off to the second back through. He's not going to get much. He tried to spin, but was tackled there by, I see Blake Sloan, I see Bearden, and I see 45 Prevost on that play. He made a nice move outside and did not outrun us.
Well, it's interesting. This guy's a real jitterbug, real quick guy, but based on what I've seen so far, doesn't have the blazing speed of a Santonio Beard or the guys over the years like Travis Stevens who've really given us trouble. On the other hand, this quarterback is the real deal, and he's the one that's hurting us right now.
Bearden made an excellent play there. He took on the blocker, stopped the blocker. They tried to swing it outside. He was there, contained, and make the tackle.
David Farrell and Parker Jones are now our tackles with
did they call this?
Got 4 wide, second back foot, 1 back carries the ball and right up the middle and got maybe 4 yards. Let's see what. No, they got a bad mark or whatever. I'm gonna say it's gonna bring up 3rd and let's say 6 or 7 yards. Don.
Well, they showed a different play out of that. They showed a sprint draw out of that 4 wide out single back formation. Big play MBA here, Mike.
Time for the defense to stand up. We don't need to get down 2 touchdowns at halftime. Timeout MUS. They realize it's a big play too, Bill.
Mike, I think I saw the last time what's happening on that 4 wide outs. Bearden is moving out and covering the out man, and that's sort of leaving that end open. And then when he pulls it out and runs around that end, Bearden's out covering in the flat.
Well, ideally, I think we probably would want Hillenmeyer as the defensive end that's probably dropping back and covering a halfback or a wideout rather than Bearden. He's our strong side defensive end, I guess you could say, who plays up the tight end. So maybe they found a match that they like there.
I don't know, but they're doing their formation, scheming us with that formation. It's a formation that's pretty clearly to their advantage at this point in time because we've only stopped them 1 time without a big game when they've been in it. And here we come out of the timeout.
Well, as you continue to watch this, they're running split backs to I formation, 1 back. The more I think about it, they really do look a lot like us in the way they're scheming, too. Now, they've got a tight end to the left, 2 wides, and split backs. More under center. 3rd and about 6. Fullback. We got him stopped, I think. He drives, and it's going to be 4, probably 3.
He didn't get much of any yardage there at all, Mike. He may have gotten about a half yard, so it's going to be 4th and about 5. See what they do.
I saw Parker Jones and both the linebackers, Barfield and Prevost, in there.
We hit him early. He didn't get this momentum going, and we were able to stop him. It was a good play.
Okay, 4th and 3, and they're going to punt it, and the ball is on the 30, call it 6 or 7 yard line. So they're going to pooch kick, or wouldn't be a bad place for a fake here.
Yeah, this would be a good place for a fake, particularly as we haven't been able to do much against him.
Maybe this guy's a good enough kicker to pooch it. We'll just get ready to find out.
We're not even worried about the punt.
Yeah. And we're playing safety here basically. I think that was too much time. Yep. That's probably intentional. That takes them from the 37 or so back to the 43, which is probably going to give them a better chance of down the ball inside the 10-yard line.
Which means that they didn't have a punt fake called.
David Farrell coming out limping just a little bit. I hope that's not serious. The trainers are not going to him, so I guess not. High snap, almost blocked by Bearden. It is going to be it's kicked to the right-hand side, and we got a lucky roll there. Ball hit about the 10, bounce back to the 20. Thank you.
Who's that number 3 who threw the block? Who's number 3 for MBA?
That's Barton Simmons.
Barton Simmons made a fine play there, Mike, because he blocked the guy who was going to down the ball. Perfectly legal play, and it is a huge field position gain for MBA. And we stopped them, and now let's see if we can go on offense and score some points here as Blake Sloan jogs out to come under an offensive line anchored by Farrell, Byrne, Caldwell, Jones, Wilson, and Whit Smith, number 96 at tight end. Screen pass.
Rodriguez has got speed. Fumble. Oh, no, he's down. Oh, he's down.
You know, it's funny. If Jonas would have popped that outside, I think he might have gone the distance. Cut it back.
Yeah, that was, we got that call. I think he was early down. That may be a little home cooking there. We'll see that on the film. But, you know, he looked at me like he was down when he fumbled. And Don's right. If he cuts to the outside and gets behind that wall, that might have been touchdown with his speed.
I think you're right. That was a tough break. We just have to bow up right now and stop them.
We need to go in here no worse than 7-0. They've got the ball in the 46 with a break. First turnover of the game. Stand-up defense. We got I formation, 2 wides, tight end to the right. Looks like we're going to blitz. We do. Quarterback option play. He's got room. We got trouble. He's shifty. We got big trouble. And Prevost gets him from behind along with Sloan. You know, everybody tackled the fullback there. The quarterback, for a big guy, is pretty shifty.
He's quick. He's got real quick feet, Mike. And he just pulled that ball right back out and was out around in before we could do anything.
He got about 20-something yards. They got first and 10 on our 23.
The linebackers went after the fullback, and then when he got past the line of scrimmage, there wasn't anybody there.
And we had run blitz on there, and, of course, they run the option to the right. We got I formation, tight end to the right, 2 wides. More under center. They jumped, I believe. Thank you. I believe that's their first penalty, if I'm not sure. It's going to make it first and 15.
That's their first penalty, and we got a bad break on that fumble by Jonas Rodriguez. But doggone it, now the Big Red defense just got to stand up and stop them, Mike.
We will overcome, as they say. All right, it's going to be first and 15 on about the 28-yard line for the Owls. Number 17, the guy who's beat us on the 2 passes, leaves the game. That makes me feel good. We got, looks like tight end to the right. I formation, 2 backs. Looks like he's calling looks like he's checking off. And they go to wing to the left with a big fullback. 1 back, that's McGowan back there. Pass. He's going to scream. Let's get him, boys. Come on, man. And he gets all the way down to the 18-yard line or so, tackled by Bearden. And also in there I see, I believe that was, well, I couldn't see the number.
This guy has got sneaky speed, Mike. I'm really impressed. The more I see this kid, the more impressed I am with him. He does not look like he's got that kind of speed, but we don't have anybody that can catch him.
Well, I think he's got good vision, Don. He can see the whole field. He knows where to cut more than, say, the speed of the Pearl Cone quarterback.
Now, I just saw an illegal substitution. They sent 77 into the game and turned right around and pulled him back out. I believe that's an illegal substitution. But this quarterback is tall, and he's not quite as shifty as Blake Sloan, but he's a pretty good athlete, you can tell by watching him. So it's going to be second and let's call it 6 on the 18-yard line. They've got 1 back. No, excuse me, split backs, 2 wides, tight end to the left. Fullback up the middle. He's got a lot of room. He's got a football. Come on, Big Red. I think we got it. Who picked that ball up? I believe John Ozier recovered the football. Tit for tat. Thank you.
Well, it's interesting. They got a nice little seam there to run that fullback dive in, Mike, and he busted through there, and he is a big, strong fella. And I tell you what, he was rocking and rolling, and we popped the ball loose.
Well, he's a load, and we hit him hard, and we got the fumble out of it. But when he gets going, he is a load.
Yeah, I want to see who the safety man was that stepped up there and hit him.
And they just had substituted Ozier for McIntosh on that play, so Johnny on the spot to be sure. McIntosh almost squirts through to about the 10-yard line out of an I formation, a gain of about 5 yards, Mike.
Well, Don, we got the ball probably on our own 4-yard line, call it 5, and so we just need to get ourselves some room, run some clock here, and go in 7-0.
Yep, it's second down and about 6. Frankly, we've been outplayed here in the first half, and so it would be great if we could drive down the field here. I formation, hand of the fullback, driving. Made a tackle over there. Couldn't see who made the tackle for them. But we certainly didn't get very much out of that, Mike. Only a gain of about 2 yards.
I believe that turned out to be Sloan on the option, but they had it played pretty well. And DeLimos in at nose guard and at right guard, and Garrett Davis coming out. I hope he's not injured. He looks maybe a little woozy. I'm not sure. No, I think he's okay. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
Who called timeout here? No, here runs the clock. Why did they stop the clock?
Good question.
At this point in time, it would be great to get a first down here, but what I'd like to do is get out. Go back, regroup at halftime. Single back, split backs. It's kind of hard to see from here, guys. It's a long ways away. Handoff outside to McIntosh. If he cuts up the field. He was down. I believe that's a first down, David McIntosh. The ground cannot cause a fumble. Burst through there.
I wish they would remember that when on the Rodriguez play, because I think either the ground caused a fumble or his knee was down or both. So 1st and 10, Big Red on the 42. On the looks like about the 17, 18-yard line, Don.
Here we go. Single back, split left with McIntosh in the slot. Blake back, hands off, up the field to Prevost, number 45 at fullback. and he struggles forward to the 25-yard line for a gain of about 7 yards.
There's 18 seconds left here. Might we try a pass from this dangerous position? There's a timeout on the field.
Who called the timeout? I don't know. Did we call it? We never saw who called the timeout.
I would presume that we did with 18 seconds left. I mean, they wouldn't want to do that unless we was fourth down or something like that to stop the clock.
I agree. I think
I'm after halftime ready to play.
So here we go. No backs.
Quarterback draw.
John Ozier catches the ball and gets out of bounds, it looks like, on a 40-yard line, having run only 6 seconds.
Well, that's aggressive. It wasn't a trick play. It was just a straight play. You know, a lot of times out of that no back, we'll run a quarterback draw. I thought that's probably what we would see.
And now we've got Michael Higgins, number 2 in the game, fastest guy on the team. They did get, in fact, out of bounds. MBA is prepared to execute. Gone to one back, Bearden at full. 4 wides. Sloan takes the snap, fakes, runs a reverse to Higgins, who's outside.
He's got room. No.
Runs out of bounds with 3 seconds left after a gain of about 7 yards, Mike.
Well, you like the call. You know, we just didn't quite get the corner turned over there. Number 16, their cornerback, Stephen Banks, didn't allow us to get too deep then.
I think what messed up that play is they got good penetration, made us go a little deeper than we really wanted to get around him.
Exactly.
Bill, I think it's even more than that. I think you made the call earlier that these guys are just extremely well coached. That guy stayed right at home. He was right where he was supposed to be. That was just good coaching.
Hail Mary here, Don?
It looks like it. We've got a shotgun.
Step up, Blake.
Throws it long, well over the head of the streaking Ozier, and the half ends, Mike, with MBA down 7-0 to the MUS Owls.
Well, I tell you, you know, I after watching last week, I admit I was maybe more afraid of the athletic ability and speed of the other team. This is a mirror of us, and I think we can easily come back and beat these guys, Bill.
Well, they are a mirror of us. They're much like us. They're well disciplined. They stay home. They haven't made any mistakes. They had that one-off.
Bates is giving me the microphone again, and Mike and I are going to switch. And I'm going to do MBA on defense, and Mike is going to do MBA on offense, which means that I'm going to be doing MUS on offense, and you're going to be doing
MBA on defense.
MBA on defense, MUS on offense. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to switch. And Bill, on the other hand, is going to do the same thing. So we'll let Bill talk now.
Which isn't a whole lot, but I will predict one thing. We're going to see one play again, and that's that screen pass to Rodriguez. That will be running.
Fortunately, we ran it into a zone coverage. We really played man-to-man. I think we can throw on these guys, Bill. I do.
An observation, you know, last year when we played CBHS, we ran into a traffic jam, had to take from the bus and barely got here. I understand we left at 11:30 today, and so maybe one reason why we're a little flat, the boys have been here since about 3:30, you know, 4 hours before the game, and sometimes if you're there too long, you lose a little focus, but I'm sure at halftime they got their focus back.
Well, Lou Farrell wanted me to use my field to see if I could see what Ricky was saying at halftime. I told him that I didn't need him. I could hear him from up here.
Well, I know that we're only four ones.
As smart as these NBA boys are, I think he got through to him. Let's hope so. As NBA gets ready to kick off, Joe Pat McGuigan approaches the ball on the 4-yard line. We've got Gowan deep, flanked by a couple of other Owls, as we have a perfectly beautiful night for football. NBA trails 7-0 as we start the second half.
Bounce ball.
The ball brings it up the field and is hit. And the ball is fumbled. The ball is fumbled. We don't know who's got it. MUS has got the ball. It'll be first and 10 Owls on about the 19-yard line. As NBA's defense led by David Fair, Johnny Rich, Blake Sloan, Hunter Hilton, Todd Prevost, Parker Jones, Brian Dale, John Ozier, and who's number 47? It's greased.
He's the guy that caught the fumble on that down the zone also.
We have I formation by MUS. Hand the ball to fullback, and he's hit right away by Todd Prevost for a gain of 2 yards. Todd stepped up into the hole, Mike.
Look like it just popped him right down.
Well, Todd is a very physical guy. Of course, he's a lot smaller than that 235-pound fullback, but Todd took him right to the ground. Good MBA. 2nd down and 7 at the 21-yard line as the Owls call plays in the huddle and break. We have number 17 wide to the left here, who heard us earlier. Wide right, I formation, tight end right. We got John Ozier backing up, and we get another penalty. Now, we don't know whether that was us jumping into the neutral zone. I'm rather inclined to believe it was.
Yeah, down in high school, if you break the neutral zone on defense, they stop it just like they do on offense and others, and I think that's what happened. We jumped and unfortunately penetrated. What do you think, Bill?
I agree. That's what they're doing. He must have changed his count because both defensive tackle and defensive end jumped.
I was talking to my son on the phone this week, and he said one of the things he was most proud of is all last year he never jumped off sides one time. And it's so really proud to see a defensive player for NBA jump off sides.
And in addition to everything else tonight, we get a course in ancient history from Mike Cross. I formation, MUS. Johnson under center, hands the ball to the fullback, who powers forward for a short gain, is tackled by Johnny Rich and David Farrell, though it looked like we're going to see the spot. We can't tell whether it's a first down or not. Haven't spotted the ball yet. Penalty against MUS, which we didn't see. Looks like no, they returned the favor, and so we're going to go back 7 yards, illegal procedure MUS.
Well, Don, your feelings aren't hurt. I don't think Scott did all that last year. But that'd be a little hard to do, but he's a smart kid. Here they go. What, the second?
That's right. Here we go. MUS to make an adjustment to this. Here comes the blitz. Hand the ball to Gallagher, who is hit by Prevost, I believe. Prevost put.
How you doing, Mr. Denbo?
Here's Mark. A few words. NBA rocks. Words of wisdom from Marsh's friend.
Marshall Gaither, all the way from Dallas, Texas, I might add, by car. In how many hours, Marsh?
We've made about 7.5 right now.
Well, Texans always work. Marsh just adds to the long skein. One right wide left, single back. We've got single coverage on both side formation. The quarterback drops it, throws deep, and it's incomplete. Well, good single coverage. The wide receiver was Mike, but the quarterback missed the throw.
Yeah, we got good pressure.
He did, but the key to that whole defensive stand is we limited the fullback to 2 and 3 yards per carry rather than 5, 6, and 7. That's what got us there.
Okay, we got MUS back to punt, and back to receive. We got McIntosh and Ozier. A little high snap, he got it. It's off, nice kick, real nice kick, high, and it's going to be Ozier. What a catch! And I'm not going to say what he hadn't done for 3 years, but that was a real good catch right there. Okay, NBA on offense this time, and we're going to go the
well, let's see. It looks like we've got Joy DeLima sitting at right guard. We've got David Farrell at right tackle. We've got Ben Byrne at right guard. Matt Wilson at left tackle. Joy DeLima is left guard. Will center. Here you go, Mike.
And Whit Smith at tight end. Now, Whit Smith is actually split out. We're 4 with no, we move back in. One back, quarterback drop. Blake Sloan. I don't think he got to the scrimmage. We split the field, and I think we lost a minor yard.
Well, I think we gained a little bit. I really couldn't see. They looks like they got a lot of penetration. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think we're having a little bit of trouble with their defensive ends.
I think we need to throw the ball. Amos comes out. We've got Jonas Rodriguez split wide right.
Okay, we got the two backs, offset eye, Blake Sloan under center, two wide and the tight end. Hand off to McIntosh. Assuming that was big. And we did get a little yard there. And whoever that was, the safety man, came up to make a real nice tackle there.
Well, I counted. They had 9 men within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage then.
I think Doc's a good point. Maybe they loosen up here.
I think is the way to go if they're going to show it. I mean, the bottom is I think we can throw guys.
Okay, let's see. MBA's got tight end left, two wide, offset formation with McIntosh and Bearden at backs. We got block, and Mr. Rodriguez.
They're crashing their defensive ends every time, bringing defensives right up the field, pinching them down, and the wide let us make that throw, and it was a good catch from Blake Sloan and Jonas Rodriguez.
Well, Don, you got
or run a draw play, a screenplay.
Okay, got two wide, Blake Sloan under center, snap, hand off to McIntosh. He's into the backfield.
Our offensive line took it to them. We got a little crease. David took it up the field, covered the ball up, and exploded.
Number 55.
The offensive line did a good job. This might be the momentum we need right here.
Okay, MBA. Okay. MBA with the ball, offset eye, two wide, Blake Sloan under center. Hand off to McIntosh. Oh, excuse me, that's Higgins who breaks the tackle. Man, they had penetration that time, Don.
Number 77 for the Owls basically made a good defensive play, played off a block and came up the field.
74 was in there too. We barely got the handoff, and Higgins ran into a man in the backfield. He spun off one, and I guess maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, Bill.
Well, you don't usually think of Higgins as being a power runner, but he broke that tackle to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Okay, right into the left, slot right, one back. Sloan back, it's a pass. He's got some time. He's got a man open. What a kick. Unbelievable. Another one.
Over all these years, Mike, that was a wonderful grab by John Ozier.
He was stretched out, and before he was able to hit the ground, he was hit also, and that was terrific.
He's got hands like old Raymond Berry, the Baltimore Colts. If you get it to him, he'll catch it.
I actually thought when the ball left Blake's hand, he'd overthrown him, but clearly not.
Same thing here, but it was just a wonderful catch.
1st and 10, Big Red on the 26-yard line of the Owls. Offset eye left, tight end right. Hand off to Higgins. He's hitting the backfield again. That's that big number 70. What's that number? 74. It hit us before we get to the script.
Well, I was watching another place in the line, so I can't tell you what happened, but they're getting penetration a lot, Mike.
Let's try to watch the defense this time and see if they're stunning in there. They're doing something to penetration, and 77 to 74 are their tackles, and they've got to be getting something in there. Okay, MBA, I formation, tight end right, two wides, Blake Sloan under center. Looks like he's checking off. He is checking off. I hope the time doesn't get away from us here. We got the play off. Blake back to pass. He's getting pressured. He runs up the middle. He's going. One athlete fakes him and jumps out. Blake Sloan. That was actually a pass. That wasn't a draw. A very athletic move by Blake.
Wonderful move by Blake Sloan. Shed a couple of tacklers. He's got so much speed and so much elusiveness in the open field.
Okay, NBA is going to have 1st and 10 on about the 11-yard line, which gives us an opportunity, if we had to make one inside the 10.
That time they rushed real hard. They came penetrating hard. It was just like a draw play. He couldn't have time to throw it. He tucked it and ran the draw play.
Okay, split backs, tight end right, slot left. Hand off to McIntosh, I believe, and we didn't get much there. I believe that was McIntosh. Yeah, off left. They're gaming us in there, Don. Did you happen to see what they did that time?
We just haven't blocked number 74 in that case. I mean, they just whipped us, number 74, won the battle, the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, between their two defensive ends and both their defensive tackles, they've spent a fair amount of time in our backfield penetrating, and maybe zone blocking is what we need to do, Don. You know more about that than I do.
We are zone blocking.
Okay, we got offset. Now we got split backs here. Sloan under center, same formation as last time. Same play. Looks like McIntosh tries to bounce it out, and they cornered us, and maybe should have cut back. Out.
David, it looked like he missed a hole. He had a hole right over the left guard in a little crease, and he just missed the hole. We had decent blocking there, but there was nothing outside.
Bill?
I agree.
Okay, DeLimos out, and did anybody see who went in the guard? Probably Garrett Davis is my guess. Okay, so it's third and 12 or 11. We have slot to the right, tight end right, or double wing, excuse me, one back. Fake to Bearden. He's pressured again by number 77, Blake Sloan is. Throw it away, Blake, just throw it away. Oh, their guy actually tipped that ball, and it fought, and I reveal the flag here. Anybody?
Flag down on the field, too.
Very, very late flag. Some of our spotters think it's downfield and an eligible receiver downfield, we believe. And looks like Joe Pat is coming in to kick a field goal with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left. And the ball is on the 11-yard line. Add 7's 18 and 10 is 28-yard field goal.
Well, let's hope Joe Pat can kick it. He's done a good job earlier. He's straight away here. We got to get 2 scores to win anyway, so let's put one through here now.
All right, Bearden is in, coming into on the block on the far side. Let's not let time get away from us here, boys. Let's see hopefully get a good snap here. Good snap, good hold, good kick. Looks good from here. What the officials say. It's good. 7-3. MBA with 3 minutes and 39 seconds left in the third quarter.
Well, we're on board. And that was a long drive, Mike. We had the ball for about 7 minutes. And while we didn't get started, we do have a score. And now let's go back and see if we can play defense again.
One thing, last week we had 3 touchdowns scored against us, and they've just got 1. I think that's an improvement, but their balance seems to be getting us, and we need a defensive stand here. I think I may have mentioned this earlier, but when they were driving there at the end of the first half for could look to be maybe another touchdown or a field goal, it was Grant Dixon that put his nose in there against that big fullback, knocked the ball out, and John Ozier recovered it, which that was a big play. I'm looking forward to seeing that one on film.
Absolutely. So the ball is back to the 4-yard line. MBA gets ready to start a defensive struggle against the MUS Owls with 3 minutes and 39 seconds left to go in the third period. There's the McGuigan kicks long. It's going to be taken in the field of play and fumbled.
Get him, good play. Who is that?
And tackled immediately inside the 10-yard line by
Michael Higgins, right about the 10-yard line. Play Higgins.
Guys, we're sorry about where we're holding the mic. It's giving us some crackles. But for once, we're really, really close to Brother Bates as Rob Bearden comes into the lineup, flanked by Brydale, Cole Barfield, number 44, number 45, Prevost, as Johnson is under center.
Option.
Quarterback option. And cut back. That boy's got some power as well, Mike.
Yeah, that option cut back the fullback or fake the handoff and got, down your 10-yard. It is a first down, 10 yards, but we were clawing him there a little bit and trying to pull the ball out.
He is a talented football player. He is a talented football player. Well, Bates, if you break down and buy some professional equipment, I mean, after all, we're highly paid professionals here. Hand off to Gowan, who's hit quickly. Tackled by Parker Jones. number 71.
Also, Bearden helped stack that up in there.
The announcer says Bearden, and I say Jones. It may have been Jones and Bearden. As Sammy DeLemos comes into the ball game, and nose guard and Johnny Rich comes out. Bearden at left defensive end, Hillenmeyer at right defensive end, DeLemos at nose, Jones at right tackle, Farrell at left tackle, Barfield and Prevost at linebackers. I formation, deep drop for a long pass.
Nice pass.
A lot of touch. They had good deep zone coverage there, Mike, and he threw right over the linebacker.
That ball was right over the linebacker, right in front of the defensive halfback. That was a great throw, and Bearden had a hand in his face, so you got to like the way that boy threw the ball.
Excellent throw. I mean, he threw it just like it's supposed to be done, over the linebacker and in front of the halfback.
In point of fact, I think that is the most difficult throw in football. Over a linebacker, touch pass. This kid's good. Brydale and McIntosh at corners.
5 yards.
And we jump offside and give them a 1st and 5. It's obvious this kid's got decent inflection, too.
Well, he's probably pulling us off, I guess.
MBA is flagged for encroachment.
This is a good football team, a lot like playing ourselves. Well coached, talented quarterback, big, powerful fullback. I formation, splits wide and left and right. Here's that quarterback option again. This time it's pitched. And we get a good play by 25 to tackle Gowan after he made the break.
Don, that's the first time that they pitched the ball. That scared me a little bit because that kid's got speed.
Well, but Brown made a great play. But if he hadn't made it, he's in the end zone.
What they did is early in the game, they established the fullback. Then they established the quarterback keeping it. Now they've gone to the pitch. So they've done a good job.
And we covered that with the strong safety. That's pretty tough way to cover that play. 1st and 10, I formation, wing left. Gowan gets hit.
Somebody stuck him. One of the linebackers.
That was Kyle Gowan.
By Cole Barkley, I believe, hit him.
And maybe Prevost. He came up and hit him pretty well there.
Picked up 4 yards, 5 yards. 2nd down, Big Red needs to stop here. Number 17 for them went off.
Don, they took this ball over at the 10-yard line or 11, and they've driven right down the field here.
That's right, and they really have not had a tough down yet, Mike. We haven't stopped them yet.
Gowan, good play.
McIntosh, or that was Hill, between a 6 and a 9, and we jumped right in there and stopped that young man, Mike.
Yeah, he jammed it up, and Brydale came in and made the tackle there.
Well, that looks to be the best play of the third quarter. Jogs off the field with the score MUS 7, MBA 3. As time expires in the third quarter, we go to the fourth quarter in Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, it's going to be 3rd and about 7. This is their tough down. This is the one we got to stop them. This is the hardest 3rd down they've had in this drive.
Yeah, we've got a chance for the defense to stop them. This is our first real opportunity to stop them after they've driven from about the 10-yard line, Bill. So they're gonna reverse the change, and Ricky's out there talking to the defense, and they've hurt us on these long downs, either on the option or on the pass, Bill.
Well, they have hurt us with the option and the pass. That's been their 2 big plays. Their quarterback runs both well. He throws the ball well. He can lob it over the linebacker in front of the defensive halfback. He runs the ball well. He sees the field well, and he makes good judgments. I mean, we're just going to have to stay and play our position and try to get a little pressure on him here on this play.
Are we still filming, Bates, or not? We're still filming as NBA wanders back onto the field at the beginning of the fourth quarter, where it will be 3rd down for the MUS Owls, which interestingly enough I've learned is the same age school as NBA, about a 125-year-old school. They've been out here for 40 years, but the school's about 120 years old. This is a big defensive play for MBA. As Johnson takes the Owls to the line against DeLemos at nose. Jones, double coverage out here. He's back to throw the ball. He's deep.
Yes!
Prevost picks off the pass as NBA makes a big defensive play in the fourth quarter, Mike.
Let's give some credit here to Rob Bearden and also to Cole Barfield, who were in the quarterback's face. They were going to snack him. He made an ill-advised throw, and we got a turnover.
Best pass defense is a good rush. We had him contained. He had nowhere to go, and that pass rush is what caused that interception.
Okay, we got it 1st and 10 on the 40 with 11 minutes and 52 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Blake Sloan under center, one back, slot on one side and wing on the other, 4 wide. Hand off to the fullback. That's Prevost up the middle, gets close to 5 yards, Don.
Well, I was watching Will Caldwell blocking on their number 77, and they are blitzing their linemen, coming straight up the field every time. Will made a good reach block there, and that's why they had a hole to run in.
Okay, it's going to bring up 2nd and 6 for the Big Red. You know, we've probably only got time for 2 more drives, so we've got to either score this time or the next time, Bill.
Don, if they're shooting their linemen up there with a trap run in there,
They're getting through too fast.
Okay, offset eye looks like 2 wide with a tight end. Blake Sloan hands off to McIntosh, and he maybe got a couple of yards. Somebody really got up there and tagged him.
They're number 30. They're linebackers. They're basically playing us with an 8-man line. Everybody's within line of scrimmage. The bottom line to it is with this, you go to play action, I think, or else they're overloading us so badly.
Well, big play here. It's 3rd, and let's call it 5. Like I said, we probably only got time for two more drives, maybe 3 if we have to punt, because if they drive it back up the field and eat the clock off, we're just getting to the point where we're getting a little nervous here. You can tell by my voice. We're in shotgun formation with one back splits to the left and right. Long snap to Blake. He's got time. Defensive end's in there. Look out, Blake. That was caused by the left defensive end caused Blake to have to hurry that and was in the backfield, and that caused that just not to have time to work.
We're just not getting their defensive linemen blocked. Now, whether they're overloading us or scheming us, I don't know, but we're not getting them blocked.
This is the most the defensive ends and their defensive tackles have spent, a good part of this evening in our backfield, and somehow we got to find a way to stop it. Joe Pat back to punt. Got a good snap, good catch. He gets it off. Let that ball bounce, boy. He catches it, and we're going to nail him on about the 30-yard line, 29 or 30-yard line. So we got to stand up here and either get us a turnover or play some defense, because time is starting to become a problem.
Well, we sure as heck can't let them have another one of those long drives, Mike. That one turnover where we put some pressure on the quarterback, they were in pretty good control of that drive. And that's right. I'm supposed to do the MUS offense. I formation, split wide and wide left. Johnson under center. Throws deep.
Going long. Look around, Barton. Oh, no.
And MUS is going to go the distance. We had was wonderful thrown ball, and I'm afraid that puts us in a heap of trouble, Mike.
Yeah, Barton was on the coverage, and he was right there, and the guy just made a ball right in his lap.
That was a Danny Ward-esque throw where everything is good on defense, but the pass is thrown so well, there was nothing could be done. I mean, we had good coverage.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that makes it 13, maybe to be 14-3, so we've got to score twice in about 10 minutes to pull this one out.
Well, that was a good by them. We had good coverage. Just well done. Can't take anything away from them. MUS holding with 10 minutes and 4 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The ball is snapped. The kick is up and good. And the Owls lead. The 10 minutes left, 14-3, Mike.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find out what we're made out of the next 10 minutes here, looks like. This is, again, a well-coached team, and that's the first long pass they had attempted. It was you can't the coverage, but and fall down, and we were right there and just landed right in his lap. Bill?
Well, it was a well-thrown ball, and we just have to come back now, and I'm going to have to open it up because, you know, we can't spend 7 minutes to drive again.
Okay, we're going to have back to receive is going to be Jonas Rodriguez, David McIntosh, and John Ozier. And a good return here with some field position would be a handy thing to have.
Yep, I think it would be great. But the kid he's kicking from the hash mark again. And the last time he kicked into the end zone, so we started from our 20. So I think you're going to actually be calling this.
Okay, MUS to kick off. Gets the referee's whistle. Gets it good. That's going to be caught by Mr. McIntosh in about the 3. Coming down the left side here, he's got some room. I see an alley. He's going to get out to the 26, 7-yard line. It looked like for a second there he might have had more promise than that.
For just a second, there was an alley open, but he just was a little late getting there, Mike.
Okay, it's going to be 1st and 10 on the 26 for the Big Red with 9 minutes and 56 seconds left, and we have to score twice. Blake Sloan in. We got wide receivers are, looks like going to be Ozier and I think Rodriguez. Tight end is, I believe, Whit Smith. It is. And we got 2 backs. That's Mr. Bearden and also McIntosh. Blake Sloan under center. Snap. Fake handoff. It's a waggle play. He's got defensive ends in his face. He's got no place to go. How did he get back? It's a miracle that he got back near the line of scrimmage. Their defensive end did a really good job of containing us again there, Don.
Well, it wasn't just one defensive end. If there had only been one, he might have gotten away. They were both there.
Well, their defensive ends contained. We couldn't get corner turned. He forced him back up the middle where there was support to make the tackle.
Other than the quarterback, who is their safety man, being a great athlete in All-State, you have to be impressed with their discipline, particularly on defense, don't you, Don?
I'm very impressed with this football team. I have to say I am. They're stay at home. They're well coached. They're better athletes than I thought they looked like from the beginning, and they're playing a fine game.
No question. There's an injured MUS player on the field there, and I think it's number 15. I'm not sure. And looks he's up, and it's one of their defensive ends. That gentleman has spent some time in our backfield tonight. So, although I don't wish him any ill, he looks like he's walking off. Maybe just twisted an ankle a little bit or something. He may be back in there. Okay, so 9:31. Second, let's call it 11. It's getting to be put up or shut up time here. They're still waiting for him to get off the field under his own power.
Well, we got to complete some passes here.
Their defensive ends really do a good job of getting penetration, but they also contain. They don't forget what their job is as they're penetrating, and they turn the play in the middle.
Yeah, they're going outside in. Okay, we've got tight end to the left, 3 wides, 1 back. 1 back is Bearden. Blake's back to pass. Got some time over the middle. It's complete to McIntosh. Nice play. You know, one thing that I think their defensive halfback thought he was going to intercept that, but the ball was right on the money.
And number 18, Johnson, their safety, most athletic player, comes right up the field, makes a sure tackle on McIntosh.
You know, when we go 3 wide and 4 wide here without Mr. Eskin here tonight, that certainly, you know, is not an advantage for us. I'm not prepared to make excuses here. Shotgun formation, 4 wide. Bearden's the running back. Blake Sloan gets a good snap. It's a quarterback draw. He gets some good running room. He gets about 8, 9 yards on the quarterback draw.
And that's the first time tonight that play's worked at all, Mike.
It is the first time. We got the middle blocked, and it worked.
You know, Blake Sloan, I guess Blake Sloan or Ozier are the 2 game breakers we've got out there, the most elusive players, so it makes sense to, and of course McIntosh, makes sense to get the ball to some of them.
4 wides here, Mike, and let's see what happens. We got four deep in the.
All right, Blake Sloan back to pass. This is a screen pass. It's to Bearden. We got some blockers out there. Oh, no. First down. Number 16, their defensive halfback, was blocked, bounced off the block, and came in to make the tackle, but we did get the first down.
It's interesting. Blake must have read that. I don't know whether it was a call play or checked off, but they had dropped into zone. They had 5 people across in a zone, 4 down, 5 across the middle, and then 2 deep safeties.
Prevost sent it fullback for Bearden to give him a little rest. So it's 1st and 10 on the 45-yard line with 8 minutes and 3 seconds left. Blake Sloan up. Looks like it's going to be shotgun formation. Slot right. They're in a little bit of their defensive halfback. So we're running an option play. Actually, it's just really a rollout. And he makes the defensive end miss, and Blake gets 5, maybe 6 yards, Don.
But he didn't get out of bounds, Mike, and so the clock is running away. Blake did a good job again on his own, and it's interesting, their defensive end crashed down, and all of a sudden Blake was outside of him, but he was coming straight, pitching down to take that away from us.
Yeah, that I think is probably not their first string defensive end either. That was 63 or something, I think.
77 and 74 out.
Okay, we got Blake Sloan under center, one back. Looks like timeout, probably MUS. There's timeout for somebody. Maybe it's an official timeout.
77 and 74 for them are out of the game right now. I guess giving them a blow for right now. But we got the corner turn there, and we need to go and get this thing in the end zone soon.
2nd and 4 on the 30, let's call it 8 or 9 yard line. Blake Sloan under center. We got 2 wides to the left. Handoff to Bearden up the middle, or is that Prevost? Excuse me, that's Prevost. And we got a yard, maybe 2.
Well, and they tried to scheme them, but they stayed home and made the tackles.
So it's going to bring up 3rd and, let's call it about 2.5 or so.
I'm sure we're in 4-down territory here, Mike.
Certainly. And 3rd and call it 2, and clock's running at 6:46. Getting late. Okay, let's see the formation here with Blake Sloan's under center. We got 2 backs in an I formation, 2 wide with a tight end. Tight end, that's Hillenmeyer switches to the left-hand side. Option play. Penetration gets us. He pitches it, and luckily it goes out of bounds. Their defensive end, number 63, got in there and jammed it up and caused a big problem.
I'm going to tell you something that I saw there that I have not actually seen before. These guys are really quick. They move to the football well. That's a good football team we're playing tonight.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure they watch film. And last week, and if it hadn't been for the option, we'd have lost that ball game. So you've got to know that they know who's going to get the fullback, who's going to get the quarterback, and who's going to get the pitch man. That's very evident. And that's probably why they're playing so aggressive, getting upfield, forcing us deep on the option. Okay, we got 4th down, and let's call it 6. 3 wide, 1 back. Blake's thrown under center. Snap. Blake's back. He's got a little timey throw. Composure. That's a 1st down. The money man. He threw to the money man.
But that was a very fine throw, too. I mean, that was a very disciplined pattern that John ran, and the ball was right on the money.
And the line blocked, and we had the time. But I agree with your earlier statement, Don. They have good team speed. They're not as big as us, but they're quick to the corners and quick covering.
You know, rather than a 5 or a 7-step drop, that was about a 3, maybe a 3.5-step drop because he threw off his back foot. But he certainly got the ball in there with some juice. We got 2 backs. Blake Sloan under center, tied into the right-hand side, 2 wide. Option play. Blake's tucking it in. He's got room. He's cutting to the outside. He may go. He is going for a touchdown. No flags on the play. With 5 minutes and 48 seconds, MBA scores a touchdown.
We sealed that play off beautifully. He took a look, throws the linebackers, cut it up the field, and the receivers blocked on the right-hand side of the line of scrimmage, sealed it. Blake set him up and went right up the sideline.
We're going to go for 2 so we can have a tying field goal, Bill.
Yep, we've got to go for 2. That's the only thing to do here. 1 point doesn't help us any. That was a great play. That's what we needed.
Okay, big play here. NBA, we have, looks like I formation. Flankers to the right, 2 tight ends, and all of a sudden looks like we're going to check off here. Looks like we're going to check off. Snap, hand off to Bearden. No, it's a fake, and it's to Blake. How did he get away? It's a miracle. Good Lord, how did he do that? If he's got a chance to score. Unbelievable. I swear to you, 5 people had him surrounded. I don't know how in the world he got out of that, Don.
Shades of Condrich Holloway.
Man alive, Bill, I just was, they had him almost down on one knee.
Well, I think he actually fell on top of the pile, but his knee never touched the ground, and then he just backed up off the pile and started heading the opposite way and got it in the end zone. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Now, you know, he did something like that in Clinton, if you remember, but not with 5 guys surrounding him.
As I say, shades of Condrich Holloway, the little magician.
Big play there. We're only down by 3 now. We do have a good field goal kicker, and rather than have to score 2 touchdowns, with 5 minutes and 48 seconds, if we can stop them and go down and either score a winning touchdown or a tying field goal, then we're overtime.
Well, this is a big stop here. I mean, we can't let them get a bunch of first downs. We need Joe Pat to put it in the end zone or put it down around about the 1 and see if we can stop them.
Here's Don.
Here we go. With 5:58 left in the fourth quarter, Joe Pat McGuigan approaches the ball. And there's the kick. Carries Dick to be taken at the 1-yard line. As MBA comes down the field, Higgins. Michael Higgins down the field. Stops him on the 15-yard line. Great Michael Higgins.
Last time he stopped him on the 10. That time he got him on the 2. I watched him all the way. He just had the speed to get the guy and get him behind the wall.
On that kickoff, Michael just sprinted. Nobody even bothered to touch him, and we hadn't got anybody faster.
That's exactly right. Well, it's gut check time, boys. Gut check time for the Big Red.
Barton Simmons, the sophomore, is in at safety, along with Ozier and McIntosh at corners.
I formation, 2 wide receivers right and left. Blitz NBA. Here comes this option droption. And this time we get young Mr. Johnson stopped after a gain of about 3 yards, Mike.
Well, we run blitz there again, and they ran the option, which is a good thing to run against that. And they got some yardage, but they cut about 3. But we're lucky that run blitz didn't take us out of that.
Run is that we get a stop. If we can stop them and make them put the ball to us, Mike, we got a shot.
Johnny Rich is nose guard, and David Farrell's at left tackle, and Parker Jones right tackle.
Hunter Hillenmeyer at left defensive end, and Rob Bearden at right defensive end. Gowan and Brian I believe that it was Brydell, got his hands on him, but wasn't able to hold him down. So I believe we're going to show a 3rd down and about 2. In fact, it's 3rd and 1.
This okay they get a first down here, but we can't give them another one after this.
Let's go, Big Red.
Watch the fullback. I bet they give it to him.
Well, let's see if NBA sets into a back. Gowan split to the left, quarterback snake, and I believe he got the first down.
I mean, when you're 6'3", 6'4", it's pretty easy to lay forward and get a yard.
Sure would have been good to get a stop there, but we now need to stop them for sure. First down, MUS, 4 minutes to go in the game. NBA clawing, scrambling to get possession of the ball to get a chance to put points on, Mike.
There's a timeout NBA with 3 minutes and 59 seconds. I think that's the first one this half, Don.
I believe it's the first one this half.
Yeah, it's our first one this half, and then we need to stop them here. And if we do, I suspect we'll call another one. If we make another stop, we'll call another one.
They probably can run, Don, 2 minutes off this clock anyway with 3 plays or 3 plays and a punt. I think, would you use your timeouts on defense, or would you save them for offense?
I tell you what, you got to stop them now. I think you, depending upon what sort of gains they have, I'm for using them now. You can control the clock much better when you're on offense. Right now, you got to get the ball, and you got to get the ball by either causing a turnover or stopping him and forcing a punt.
Number 51, Sam DeLemos, in at nose guard for Johnny Rich, and DeLemos is pretty good at penetrating. Maybe we'll get a big play.
Strong guy, plays well with one hand, got reasonably quick feet. Offset eye. NBA run blitzes. Gowan is caught after a gain of about 2 yards by Todd Prevost and Sam DeLemos.
And also Barfield was in there.
Gain of about 3 yards as the clock ticks away. Gowan scares me. He's quick.
Yeah, he's got those quick feet.
What scares me would be another fly pattern right here.
Yep, here's 23 here. We got single coverage with Ozier and McIntosh. Tight end right, left. Quarterback option. And we get through. Who is that, Mike? I believe that's Hillenmeyer. Tackles the quarterback. Here NBA takes a well-used timeout, Mike.
We crashed our left end right down the line, Hillenmeyer, and he passed up the fullback and went and tackled the quarterback for a loss.
I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't getting an assignment just to take the quarterback.
Well, it looked to me like he had a pitch man outside of him, but we had somebody on the pitch man too. So just a good defensive play there. Big Red. We use our second timeout. Johnny Rich comes into the ball game, and it is really big play time here, guys, because if we can stop them here, we can get the ball back. I believe that's Leland Prevost down there, isn't it? It is Leland. We have one of last year's stars here, Leland Prevost from Ole Miss, the University of Mississippi, with his mother. Well, this is this year, and last year is last year. So last year's team found a way to win in some difficult situations. Hopefully this year's can as well.
Well, Don, this is clearly the biggest third down of this game and maybe the season. And we've got Johnny Rich is now at nose, and we just need to make a big play. They may run option here.
Well, they got wide receivers right and left. We're going to single cover wide receivers and play 9-on-9. We're going to strong safety blitz.
He's flushed him out. Getting Hillmeyer.
He'll make a tackle.
Quarterback blitz by Brydale, or strong safety blitz, and ran him right into Hillenmeyer, the defensive end, which is wonderful.
But Hillenmeyer turned himself to run him down from behind, and MBA is going to save their last timeout, as it's going to be 4th down and 10 as we get McIntosh and Oak back to receive the punt. Great defensive call by Tom Moore, the defensive coordinator there.
I thought Hillenmeyer had lost containment, but he managed to come around and make the tackle. It was a great job.
He barely gets a punt off, but it's a good one. It's going to be Mr. Ozier. We got a punt return set up over. He's got a wall. He cuts back. Oh, that guy made a nice play. Number 14 just kept outside leverage, and we just couldn't quite get going.
Well, John was just a little late, I believe, in getting the corner, Mike. If he'd have just, but you got to give that number 14 a good heads up.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 minutes and 19 seconds. The ball is on the 41-yard line. 1 timeout left. We've got plenty of time to run our 2-minute drill here and get down and kick a tying field goal or score a touchdown. We got us a ball game here. We got offset I, 2 wides. Tight end to the left is Whit Smith. We need to block and not let them get a pass rush here, boys. Cornerback blitz on this side. Hand it off to, no, it's fake to McIntosh. Blake throws, complete to Rodriguez to the 50-yard line. It'll be interesting to see whether they mark it and whether we have a first down or not.
I believe that was Johnson that came up the field and made that tackle. Rodriguez was almost ready to break that play.
Well, why aren't they? I don't understand why the clock's not stopped while they measure this. I would be demanding a measurement, but they're saying that it's second and call it a close one. All right, we got McIntosh and Rodriguez out to the left. We have a tight end, and Blake Sloan under the cornerback, under the center with no backs. We jumped. That's going to make it second and 6 or so, and we had 2 people jump that time, Don.
Well, we had the wing back jump, who can jump if he can get back in his place, and we had the right tackle jump. So all of a sudden, what was 2nd and 1 becomes 2nd and 6.
Yeah, that's bad timing for a place for a penalty. Looks like we got the same formation here. We got wing back to the right, 2 wides, no backs. Blake Sloan under center. Quarterback draw here maybe. Let's see. Yep, that's what it is. He's got some room. He faked the guy out. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 2, and the clock is running down to 1 minute and 23 seconds. Timeout, MBA. That's our last.
Right time to use it, though, Mike. Right time to use it. We've had, unusually good clock management here, I have to say. Unusually good clock management. Bottom line to it, it might be a very different game indeed if we hadn't had those very bad penalties early.
Yeah, we got to the 20 on the first series, and if we had punched that in for a field goal or something, we would be looking much better here, Bill.
Well, that's true. We got 2 downs to make this, but I look for a pass on both attempts.
Okay, it's gut check time. Minute and 21 seconds left, 3rd and about a long 2, I guess. Don, what's your call here?
I like the 3-step drop in the crossing pattern.
I like the 3-step drop and just the quick hitch to a wide receiver. He gets the first down, he steps out of bounds. So let's see what they do. Tight end's out Actually, no, excuse me, that's Hillenmeyer in for Whit Smith. I would bet you we're going to be 4 wide here.
Well, we're going to, we got to get a first down here.
Okay, Rodriguez and Ozier to the left. We're 2 backs with a tight end to the right, so we're not 4 wide. Sloan's under center. Hillenmeyer shifts to the left-hand side. Handoff. Uh-oh. Sloan on the option play, and he's pulled down.
And they set that up beautifully. They read it. They inverted their defensive backs. They dropped the defensive end or the cornerback back and brought number 18 up and blitzed off the corner. They read that exactly, and they called the defense. That was beautiful execution by MUS, I'll tell you.
4th and 3. Less than a minute left to play. MBA has 4 wide and a 1 fullback. We've got to get it here or we can just get on the bus and go home. Sloan under center. He takes it. He drops back. He's got time. He's having trouble finding a receiver. The defensive end has got him trapped. What's he going to? A miracle. How did he do it? How did he get away? He's got the first down. He's still going. That'll stop the clock with 36 seconds left as Blake Sloan, Mr. Houdini, did it again. Well, the ball is up to the 42-yard line with 36 seconds left and no timeout.
Boy, you see a look. We're on the ball here now, which will probably down it to get it to be able to call a play.
I would hate to have to cover him one-on-one in basketball. We down the ball. It's going to be 2nd and 10, Don.
Well, we got 30 seconds left, and we're getting darn close to Joe Pat McGuigan's field goal range. He kicked a 47-yarder in the preseason.
Well, Bill, you know, it puts a lot of pressure on your first-year kicker to kick one that long. I wonder, what's a safe yardage for him?
Well, I think we probably got to get the ball to about the 25 to 30-yard line. 30-yard line is 47-yard kick, probably 20 or 25.
If we get it to the 20, that's a 37-yarder. That's not only 10 yards more than a little bit more than an extra point. But with 30 seconds, we probably can run, maybe 5 plays, probably 4. MBA to the line of scrimmage. 30 seconds left. 2 wide, a tight end, and 1 back. Motion comes McIntosh. Sloan under center, drops back. He's going deep. He wants to go deep. He's got a man there, Rodriguez. Oh! Incomplete. Stops the clock. 22 seconds left.
And that went right through Jonas's hands. That was a really good throw. We had decent pass protection, and Blake put the ball on the money.
Okay, 22 seconds left. We have 2 downs and 10 yards to get a first down. 22 seconds to get either a field goal or a touchdown. I'd like to see us run that motion play like we ran to Paul Russell against against BA for the touchdown. The revert, he goes in motion, cuts back, and goes exactly where he came from. Rodriguez out to the right, Ozier to the left, Ozier and McIntosh to the right. We're checking off. We're under center. Blake Sloan drops back. He's got a little time, steps up, makes a nice play, goes it long again. There's oh. 2 of them and 1 of us were fighting for it. It dropped with 13 seconds left.
Really dangerous throw, but Blake did great to get away to be able to throw it. He threw it back across his body, and he threw into double coverage. Jonas appeared to be open, but he wasn't.
I'll tell you this, gentlemen, if we lose this game, you got to give credit to the defense of MUS. They have pressured us, penetrated and pressured us all night.
That's true, and number 18 is just a fine athlete. He played that pass just real well there.
4th and 10, 13 seconds left. MBA on the 42-yard line. Obviously, we have to get at least 10 yards or we go get on the bus. It's I formation, 2 wide and a tight end. Maybe a screen pass here. Let's see what we call. Fake is a waggle. The defensive end is all over us again. Blake shakes him. He's after him again. We get a block. Long pass. Catch that ball. Oh. That's the ball game.
One more time. 18.
Ozier was open there. Of course, Blake was flushed. We didn't quite get the ball there. 18, their all-state quarterback knocks the ball down, and it's going to be 14-11 with 2 seconds left, Don.
Well, again, Blake just did a great job. We're going to try a field goal.
No, we just turned the ball over to them, Don.
We did?
That was 4th down, so with 2 seconds left, they're going to take a knee, and we've got to go home. So, we made a courageous comeback after being down 7-0, but just couldn't quite get it done.
Well, this was a good football team, a good football game. I'm sorry the Big Red loses, but you know, we thought on the way down here, Mike, that this was really playing for the first seed for the Big Seven, the Super 7 championship game. We may well see these young men again.
Well, I would hope so. You know, if you get the second seed, you get to play home also. And, of course, the Clinic Bowl is on neutral territory. So if you have to play these guys again and they're the one seed, you can't meet them except on a neutral field.
Well, 18 is a fine quarterback, but he's also a fine free safety. I mean, we were open in there, and he covered a lot of ground to get his hand barely on the ball to break up that touchdown pass.
Yeah, they say that's where he's a college prospect, is the safety, not at quarterback. And he's going to take a knee here, and we're going to go home and we lost to a fine MUS team who hopefully we'll see again in the playoffs. And you got to give them all the credit. You got to give our guys credit for a courageous comeback that just slightly came short, Don.
Well, that's right. You win some, you lose some. Good football game. Sorry MBA lost, but we're going to try again next week against Knox Halls.
Well, you can say this. You know, some folks may say we were lucky last week, and maybe we're a little unlucky this week, Bill.
Well, you make your luck, and what happened to us is we lost all our momentum in the first half on those penalties. We came out and had momentum, and the penalties we lost it, and we couldn't get anything going in the second half. So you make your luck, and we'll be back.
Well, we'll see everybody next week at Halls at home, and the final score is Father's Cup Picnic is before the game. Final score, MUS 14, MBA 11. So good night from Memphis. See everybody next week.